Hello, my friends, and welcome back. We are back at the pond for another check-in. Gorgeous day. Everybody's sort of hanging over here, except for one Tom. What are you doing by yourself? The pond is full of leaf litter. Dear goodness. It's not a problem. We've talked about it before. It actually is part of the circle of life, so to speak. But my goodness, the water is so clear. Oh, I just love that my shadow is in every freaking video. The water is so clear that you can see it. It's not always that clear. This year just happens to be a really nice year for clarity. And yeah, there's just a ton, right? So all of that will break down and decay throughout the winter, and it'll be gone by the time we're back to spring. We had a lot of wind, a lot of rain recently. So there's branches in there. Interestingly, it all stays sort of pushed up on the shallow end. And then as you get deeper and deeper, so the water gets deeper as we walk in this direction, it's clear, right? None of that is hanging around. There's some, surface, but you don't have the same garbage. It's not even garbage, right? Nature garbage that you see on the shallow end. So always interesting to see. But yeah, like here where we have a little cutout, and this little cutout was on purpose. This was so the smaller birds can get to the water and get a drink safely and have a way to scramble up and down. The roots have taken it over a bit from this tree, but that actually even helps with the ability for chickens and other things to get up and down if they need to. So we try and put in little safety measures because this is the deeper end. Somebody asked me the other day in one of their questions and comments if I've ever seen the birds other than ducks and geese in the pond. And the answer is yes. I actually have seen chickens in the pond. They do not do it on purpose. The chickens sometimes fly across the pond from one side to the other. So from, this side to that side. We've got a lot of vulture activity overhead right now. So, and they're relatively low flying. So that's what the turkey are alarming about at the moment, although you guys probably wouldn't even think it was an alarm since they talk all the time anyway. But yeah, that's what they were hollering about. But the chickens, so you see them all on the edge right here, right? They're sort of here having a drink, doing their thing. If something were to startle them, their instinct is to fly. They don't fly long distance. They're not going to get super height, but they will fly and like jump the pond, right? So that gets them away from the instant threat that they think is there. Not every chicken makes that flight quite well. And I have seen them land on the pond, and they don't swim necessarily in like the way a duck would swim. Ducks are swimming, but they do have the ability, they sort of spread their wings to stay afloat, and they almost use their wings like paddles or oars to push them to the side, and then they can climb out. The problem becomes when they can't climb out. And so that's why we have these little openings and divots and dig outs around the pond. Because if they can't climb out while they can float, there's just so long their body can do that, right? And, I'm not always out here, certainly not out here 24/7. So if a chicken gets into a pond situation where it's stuck in the pond, it can't get out, it will exhaust itself trying to get out, and that's when unfortunate accidents happen. And we don't want that. So we make sure that around the pond, in all directions, there are ways for a wayward bird to be able to get in and out. It certainly helps the youngsters as well as they're learning to either swim or navigate. But we do that on purpose. I have never seen a turkey in the pond. I've seen them on the edges getting their drinks, but I've never seen them in the water. I think they just are stronger flyers and, you know, have the ability, like the toms don't fly, so they don't fall in, right? Like that chickens don't fall in either. It's only when there's a flight that goes wrong that it happens. The hens are stronger flyers, the turkey hens, so they don't, and they're bigger, right? So the jump over the pond isn't as significant as it is for the little birds. And the guinea fowl is smarter. That's all I have to say on that. So at any rate, like I said, we've got some vultures up overhead. This is more migratory pattern stuff where they're just circling in groups. Got a solo one. There's a few more over in this way. It just adds to kind of the vista that we have around right now. And I think I'll leave it at that. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day wherever you are in this world. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be kind. And preen yourself like you're a goose. Why not? Bye for now.